Even if you're not planning to buy, I think it's still worth it to take a look at the Showflat because I think this is the only development that has managed to wow me at the Showflat. Hi guys, it's Maverick and welcome to another new video. Today we'll be doing a review of the second launch in District 15, the Katong area, the Continuum. By now, Tembusu Grand would have launched and I'll show you the sales performance over here. Out of the 3 projects that will be launching in Katong this year, this will be the only one that is Freehold. And as you've guessed, this is probably going to be the most expensive one. Grand Dunman, the 1000 unit development next to Dakota MRT station, will launch probably Q3 this year. So if you're interested in that, do keep a lookout for my review video as well. Just a brief intro, Hoi Hup and Sunway bought this 24,500 square meter of land through an en bloc of multiple landed properties back in November 2021. The unique thing about this is that the landed properties are actually spread across both sides of Thiam Siew Avenue, which makes for a rather interesting concept. If you're not familiar with the area, Thiam Siew Avenue is flanked by both Hick Road and Tanjong Katong Road. It will be a rather large condo project with 816 units, with a majority of the units being 2 and 3 bedrooms. Showflat preview will start on the 21st of April and booking will start on the 6th of May. So if you'd like to visit the Showflat after watching this video, do reach out to me. So just like all my other review videos, I'll be grading Continuum based on 5 criteria. Firstly, location and amenities. Secondly, transport and accessibility. Thirdly, will be the quality of the development. Then we'll look at the launch pricing. And lastly, the exit strategy. So firstly, let's talk about the location. So if you notice, the Continuum will be in a rather big residential area, with the close neighbours being more boutique-sized condos, and beyond that we have a few clusters of landed properties. Now the big appeal of buying into the Continuum is of course its close proximity to 3 primary schools, Tanjong Katong Primary School, Hick Girls School, and of course the ever popular Kong Hwa School. And if you notice, these are the 3 exact same schools that are also within 1 km of Tembusu Grand. There are 2 hawker centres that are relatively nearby. You have Hick Road Market and you also have Dunman Food Centre. You're also in close proximity to the Katong Juchet shop houses, where you can find a ton of shops and also a lot of delicious food. The location, however, is pretty far away from any major shopping malls, the closest one being PLQ Mall, which is around 800 meters away. If you don't mind a smaller mall, you have Kinex, which is just 600 meters away. Because you are in an enclave with mostly private developments, you don't get to enjoy amenities like community centers, sports complexes, the closest being Sports Hub at Kallang, which is 3 kilometers away. But I believe even with its drawbacks, the location is still pretty alluring, especially for own-stay buyers. There's just something about that Katong charm. On the bright side, you are located pretty close to the city centre. So for location, I'm giving the Continuum an 8 out of 10. If it had more immediate amenities, the score will probably be higher. Next up, let's take a look at how convenient it is to get around. The nearest MRT stations are Dakota MRT and Paya Lebar MRT, which are both around 800 meters away. Or if you'd like to do so, you can walk there in 10 minutes. But of course, you won't really want to walk to the MRT station in Singapore's climate. Hop on the bus and you'll reach Dakota MRT station in just 3 stops and Paya Lebar MRT station in just 2 stops. Yes, it isn't exactly walkable to the MRT station, but 2 to 3 stops isn't that bad, especially because these MRT stations are already pretty central and you can reach Raffles Place in just 6 stops. For drivers, you are only about 14 minutes away from the central business district, and you're also 5 to 10 minutes away from major expressways like the ECP, KPE or PIE. So for transport, I think it's pretty okay for drivers, but of course the MRT stations aren't the closest, so I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Now let's take a look at the quality of the development. Hoi Hup and Sunway are no stranger to Singapore's property market, and this is of course not their first project together. Previously, they have come to launch Key Residences, a 999-year leasehold project in the Upper Bukit Timah area, and have also recently launched Terra Hill at Pasir Panjang. Hoi Hup in particular has been fairly active, bringing you condos like River Cove and Kovan Regency. Looking at the site plan, you'll notice something peculiar. You'll notice that the development is separated by a public road, Thiam Siew Avenue. I think this is super unique and I'm not sure if any other developments have this kind of concept. The two sites are then connected via an overhead bridge at the center of the development, which will link the residents from north to south, and of course you can use facilities in both sites. The only drawback is that the overhead bridge isn't sheltered. The blocks are well spaced out and the premium blocks are towards the corner of the development. Unlike Tembusu Grand, you do get full basement parking in the Continuum, and you have a total of 816 car park lots, which brings the ratio of units to lots to 1:1. You also have two separate entrances on both ends of the development, which will ease congestion. Unfortunately, the basement car park isn't linked, so if you are living in the north, you can't enter through the south and drive to the north side. The units are mostly facing either slight northwest or southeast. Another unique thing about this development is that it houses a conserved bungalow. Now, because it's conserved, the developers can't tear it down, so what they have done is to build an area around it and turned it into a clubhouse. For facilities, you do get a 50-meter lap pool, another 33-meter lap pool, a bunch of jacuzzis and other smaller pools, barbecue pit, sky gyms, playgrounds, gardens, and also a tennis court. Honestly, I would have liked to see 2 tennis courts, just because the development is pretty big at 816 units. Okay, now let's take a look at the floor plan of the show units. So just like Kara Hill, there will be 2 collections. Firstly, there will be the Signature, which is for the more mass market type of units. And then we have the Prestige collection, which is their more upmarket units with a private lift, marble flooring, and top of the line Vizuk appliances. First up, for the Signature collection, we have the 2-bedroom plus study unit at 721 square feet. It has a very efficient dumbbell layout, and I like the fact that you have an L-shaped kitchen instead of a linear kitchen. I also like where the study is placed, just outside the common room. Because this isn't a PPVC layout, most of the walls internally can be hacked. So if you like, you could always enlarge the common bedroom and connect it with the common toilet, or you can always just knock down all the walls and turn it into a huge 1-bedroom apartment. Another touch I really like is that the developers have managed to put in a small but handy storage space, which can be useful and is very rare to find in a 2-bedroom unit of this size. Next up, let's take a look at the 3-bedroom premium layout at 1087 square feet. I think you do get a tiny bit of wasted space at the foyer area, but some might argue that you can use that space to store your shoes. This time you do get a fully enclosed kitchen with a yard and home shelter. And just in case you like to house your helper in the home shelter, there is a separate storage area that the developers have fit in the kitchen. Of course, if you don't need the storage space, you can always knock it down and make your kitchen a bit larger. The balcony is also just big enough to fit some outdoor furniture. And the bedrooms are all decently sized at 9 square meters. Of course, you do get a larger master bedroom and a master bathroom as well. The only thing I like to nitpick is that there are 2 AC ledges and you are essentially paying for that space. But overall, I do think that it is a pretty efficient layout. The last layout we'll be taking a look at is the 3-bedroom plus study from the Prestige collection at 1249 square feet. So all the units in the Prestige collection come with a private lift, marble flooring, and top-of-the-line Vizuk appliances. You get a huge kitchen which connects to your balcony, which is also pretty big. And your yard area has an exit to the common lift lobby. Your living and dining is also pretty large, and you always have the option of knocking down the wall to your study to enlarge the living room. I think everything else is pretty standard, and I think that the buyers who are looking at the Prestige collection just want that certain level of lifestyle. There are of course other unit types from 1-bedroom plus study all the way to 5-bedroom penthouses. So if you'd like to find out more, do give me a call. For quality of development, I was really amazed when I arrived at the Showflat the other day, so I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Not a score I typically give to Hoi Hup developments, but this one just hits different, with super efficient layouts and premium build quality. So Hoi Hup and Sunway bought these sites for $1,488 per square feet per plot ratio, which makes it the most expensive land out of the 3 Katong launches that we are seeing this year. Which is understandable because this is the only one that is freehold. With an estimated break-even of $2,296 per square feet per plot ratio, Given a 20% profit margin, we're expecting them to sell at an average price of $2,755 per square feet. Now lucky for us, the developers have already announced the starting prices, and I'll flash them on the screen right now. At about $150 per square feet to the starting prices, that's typically where the average price will be. So the price will hover between $2,735 per square feet to $2,787 per square feet, which is quite close to our estimate based on the land price. An interesting thing to note is that the one bedroom units actually command the lowest price in terms of PSF, because typically the bigger unit types are the ones that will start from a lower PSF price. Not sure why the units are priced this way, but maybe because the developers think that 3 bedrooms will be the hottest and they have priced it higher than the other units. So is this a fair price to pay in today's market? Let's take a look at a few comparisons. Firstly, we have Head Court, which is just beside Tembusu Grand. It is a freehold development with 360 units which completed in 2004. So it will be 23 years older than the Continuum. The recent units have been transacting for around $1,800 per square feet, but do note that the layouts are all pretty large and the 2 bedrooms actually start from 1,000 square feet, which brings your quantum to $1.8 million, similar to what you'd expect in the Continuum. If we want another suitable comparison, we have to move down south nearer to Tanjong Katong MRT. We have the Esta, which is also a 400 unit freehold project which completed in 2008. Some of the recent transactions have already exceeded $2,100 per square feet, and just like Head Court, the 2 bedrooms there also start from around 1,000 square feet. So in that condo, you're already paying $2.2 million for a 2 bedroom unit. Lastly, there is Amber Park, which launched in 2019. The subsale units are already going for $2,600 to $2,800 per square feet, which is around the same price as we're expecting from the Continuum. Although Amber Park is of course a little closer to the MRT station. So I'd say the Continuum is fairly priced. Quantum wise, you're paying almost the same price as the older freehold developments. And even though the physical unit is smaller, you do get a more efficient layout, brand spanking new facilities, and of course a very unique concept. So for the price, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Of course, it definitely isn't cheap by any means, but if you're considering other freehold projects in the area, maybe you can try adding Continuum into that list. Now let's take a look at exit potential, which I think for District 15 or the Katong area is one of its strong points. Yes, typically I wouldn't suggest buying a freehold condo for investment, due to it already commanding a premium over their 99-year leasehold counterparts. And that is very true as seen from the price trends here. But our closest competitor, Head Court, has managed to grow by over 60% in the past 10 years. So I'd say it's more about the project itself having that certain number of units and build quality that will ultimately affect the returns in the future. Will you be able to cash out with profits in the next 3 years in the subsale market? I think it is very unlikely, but there is still potential in District 15. Recently, a 25,680 square feet bungalow has been sold for $2,161 per square feet, which is unheard of and already on par with some of the bungalows in Prime District 10 and 11. URA also has plans to develop Kallang into a work-live-play area, which will introduce new homes and workplaces. For me personally, I think that the Continuum will perform well, but just not in the short term. If you plan to stay for quite a while and exit 10 to 20 years later, I think the Continuum is really worth considering, especially because it has a large number of units, which makes up for a healthy number of transactions annually. This will help push up the prices of the project in the long run. So for exit strategy, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. This brings my average score to 7.4. Personally, if I were looking for an own stay unit in the area and have the financial capability to afford, the Continuum will definitely be my top choice. It just has a certain charm to it. Furthermore, it's a decently sized development with a whole host of facilities, and the layouts are all pretty efficient. I do also hope that they will carry on the build quality from the Showflat to the actual development itself. And I know that these reviews are here to help you make a logical decision, but somehow when I went to the Showflat, I was swept emotionally. And I believe a lot of buyers will be too. But if you're looking for a short 3 to 5 year investment or if you're looking for a rental unit, I'm sorry, I would have to direct you somewhere else. So after watching this video, if you're interested in taking a look at the Continuum, the Showflat preview will start on the 21st of April and booking day will be on the 6th of May. You can book an appointment through me. My number is flashing on the screen right now. If you found this video useful, do share it with your family and friends. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!